Chapter 81. Making a Living from Boats 1. At that moment, under the setting sun, the afterglow scattered on the mountain path, as though it was draping a layer of orange-yellow gauze over the stone steps, adding a hint of holiness. It was as though walking on it and stepping on the sunlight could lead one to glory. On both sides of the mountain path, green leaves, flowers, and grass could be seen everywhere. The fragrance and the smell of soul blended into the mountain breeze that blew past. As the humidity gushed into his face, it seeped into his mind and permeated his entire body. The surrounding trees provided shade, and the crisp chirping of birds could be heard from time to time. It was as though they were composing a tune for the future of everyone who had walked through this mountain path, including the group of people here. Among the group of 5, the one at the front was the round-faced middle-aged man. He had his hands behind his back and introduced the sect to Xu Qing and the others as he walked. Since you guys have successfully entered the 7 Blood Eyes, let me explain the sect to you. Actually, in my opinion, the 7 Blood Eyes isn't a sect. It's more like a hugely profitable business in the name of the sect. The round-faced middle-aged man spoke calmly. When his words fell into the ears of the 4 people behind him, it caused the hearts of these newly joined youths to tremble. Among the 4 people, other than Xu Qing, the other 3 were Xu Qing, Li Zimai, and a young girl. The girl's name was Xu Xiaohui. She had a ponytail and wore ordinary clothes. Clearly, she wasn't from a wealthy family, but she was much better off than scavengers. She should have come from a small city. 1. On the way, she expressed her goodwill to Xu Qing. However, Xu Qing wasn't good at socializing and didn't like people getting too close to him. Hence, he only nodded. Very soon, this young girl started to curry favor with Xu Qingpeng. Xu Qingpeng's smile was gentle, contrary to Xu Qing's reticence. This caused the young girl to feel closer to him. The two of them would occasionally whisper to each other on the way. As for Li Xiaomei, she seemed to be very reserved and felt a little inferior. Hence, she was at the end of the group and kept a certain distance from everyone. 1. However, Xu Qingpeng paid a lot of attention to her and Xu Qing. Hence, he would occasionally take the initiative to reveal a smile, causing Li Zimai to feel less reserved. At that moment, the mountain breeze blew past, lifting everyone's hair. It also transmitted the words of the round-faced middle-aged man. The 7 Blood Eyes are divided into the top of the mountain and the bottom of the mountain. You can see them as 2 different worlds, which is indeed the case. You people are people from the bottom of the mountain. Only those who have reached the foundation building realm are qualified to ascend the mountain, and have the right to distribute the benefits of the 7 Blood Eyes. As for the people at the foot of the mountain, they live in cruelty and hardship, and can only struggle. So to the people at the foot of the mountain, going up the mountain is the greatest desire in their lives. Do you know how many people are in the main city at the foot of the mountain? The round-faced middle-aged man glanced at the 4 youths behind him. 3 million people. He raised his right hand and extended 3 fingers. These 3 million people include the commoners and all the low-level disciples of the various peaks. You will also be one of them. You need to survive under the rules of the 7 Blood Eyes. The rules of the 7 Blood Eyes main city are very simple. They are contribution points for everyone at the foot of the mountain, be it commoners or disciples. The fee for staying in the main city every day is 30 contribution points, which is 30 spirit coins. It will be deducted every day. Once the number on the Jade Slip token reaches 0, one will be expelled from the 7 Blood Eyes. It's the same for commoners and disciples. If you forcefully stay, you will be killed by the array formation in 2 hours. The round-faced cultivators' words caused the expressions of Xu Qing and the other 3 to change. Even though Xu Qingpeng had some understanding of this, when he heard this rule again, fear still appeared in his eyes. This is only the basic residency fee. As for food and accommodation, it's up to you. Survival of the fittest. The prices of goods in the 7 Blood Eyes main city are extremely high. That the highest of them all is still cultivation resources. Hearing the round-faced cultivator's words, Xu Qing fell silent. The other 3 were also intimidated by this harsh statement. Xu Xiaohui hesitated for a moment before asking in a low voice, "Since that's the case, why are there still so many commoners here? 30 spirit coins a day, that's 1 spirit stone a month. This is too expensive. Besides, we have obtained the status of disciples and we have to pay contribution points as well." What's the use of being a disciple? The round-faced middle-aged man glanced at Xu Qing. The commoners who were able to teleport here at such a high price are all capable people. The reason why they fought to be the first to arrive was that the Seven Blood Eyes main city protects the commoners. Disciples can't slaughter the innocent. Also, there's a formation here that isolates anomalous substances, allowing one's lifespan to increase. Compared to the anomalous substances pervading the outside world and ferocious beasts causing people to flee for their lives everywhere, the main city of the Seven Blood Eyes is naturally the place of their dreams. What's the use of becoming a disciple? Firstly, the cultivation resources are only open to those who have obtained the qualifications to become a disciple. Others can't buy them, and it's strictly forbidden for them to be circulated outside. Once caught, they will definitely die. Secondly, only disciples who cultivate the Seven Blood Eyes cultivation method can have the right to ascend the mountain and obtain the right to distribute benefits after cultivating the Seven Blood Eyes to the Foundation establishment realm. Therefore, you all have to work harder in the future. Although the sect doesn't allow internal strife on the surface, every month there are still quite many disciples who mysteriously disappear from the city. Regarding this, the sect mostly turns a blind eye. After all, it's normal for deaths and injuries to occur when cultivating goo. However, once an external foundation building cultivator makes a move against Wuxia condensation disciples, the person who makes a move will be severely punished. This is considered breaking the rules of the Seven Blood Eyes. Of course, the sect doesn't care about external Wuxia condensation cultivators. The round-faced cultivator smiled meaningfully. When Xu Qing heard these words, he heaved a sigh of relief. This was one of the reasons he came to the Seven Blood Eyes.